doing it, sir. Greg, what does the promotion mean to you?
A great opportunity, exciting, something that you hope for, and to have this type of opportunity, I want to take advantage of it.
Greg, rumors in March were that you were or could be headed to Northwestern. How close were you to potentially being there? And just what's it like to kind of how it worked out?
Well, I can tell you the only thing I was thinking about during March was what we were doing. So we had a great run, great year last year, and the only thing I was thinking about was our guys and my job and responsibility. So as far as other opportunities, there have been some the last couple years that I've looked into, but just decided the best thing was to keep doing my job here and try to take advantage of it.
I'm pretty glad that it worked out the way it did.
I'm excited about it.
Greg, did you know this spring that if whether or not you turned down job offers this spring or not, did you know there was a chance that Chris might leave and open up a spot, or you just wanted to stay here no matter what?
Well, I think when you get a chance to work with such great guys and coaching staff, they'll have the opportunity to go. And that's a credit to Coach Mata. That's a credit to them as people and what they do professionally. So could any of our guys had an opportunity? I think so. And I think it's just a little bit of the way it worked out.
Yeah, a similar question. Bob kind of stole my thunder. I was wondering if you could go back a year and talk about when Thad hired you, what that discussion was like, and did you think this opportunity would come because you were a full-time assistant? So I'm thinking that you thought eventually you could kind of move up in the ranks here, or at least maybe that was the hope.
Well, I think you don't want to take anything for granted, that things are a given. You don't know how they're going to play out, so you want to make the most of them. But 2 years ago when I was hired, just an opportunity to be a part of this university, this basketball program, everything that Coach Mata has done. I've known him a long time, and it was just too good of a situation for me to pass up. So that was kind of my thought process going through it, and I wanted to do as good of a job as I could in the position that I was in. I knew it was going to be a little bit different, as it will be for Jake, with him being on the road, and now he isn't able to go on the road, and there's different types of restrictions. But to be a part of this university and all the great things that come along with it was something that I thought it was worth.
Right behind you, Steve.
I just ask about the recruiting aspect of this. You're going to be able to go out on the road, I presume, certain days, and have the coaches talked about, again, off-campus recruiting and building relationships and everything it takes, with the players, with, the community out there to get great players. Just talk about what it's going to take to do that job.
I tried to learn as much as I can from wherever I've been. So I think doing it before helps. I haven't had the opportunity to do it here, but I'm looking forward to going on the road. And as far as the planning ahead of all that, I think it's too soon to, tell what's going to happen in July and tell how it's going to work out. But I've tried to learn, and I think being a part of Ohio State the last 2 years, with everything it has to offer on the court, off the court, academically, it stands for itself. It speaks for itself, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Greg, without being allowed... Without being allowed to be in the gym working with these guys the past 2 years, how much were you able to stay involved, though, just because you're able to sit down at the video machine with these guys and maybe coach them that way versus coaching them on the court? Are there a lot of similarities?
I think when I took this opportunity, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that as far as being on the floor, as far as coaching the guys up in that area. And it's just one of those things that I tried to learn as much as I could from watching, to have a mentor and a great friend like Chris Gent, who is outstanding with his leadership skills, with his development on the floor and off the court. Just trying to be a part and learn as much as I could watching And seeing how our coaching staff does things, seeing how he relates to our players and the best way to make our players better, I've had great experience and have seen a lot over the last 2 years.
What is it about here? Is it that relationship you're talking about with the other assistant coaches? Is it Coach Mata, the program as a whole, that makes you, other opportunities come along and know this is where I want to stay, and hoping that this opportunity might come? What is it about this program that I guess, resonates with you to make this the place you move on?
Well, I'm excited to be here, and I can tell you that hasn't changed from the first time that I came here. And had a great relationship with Coach Mata forever, known him a long time, and to work with him and now to coach with him is something that just a great opportunity. But I think that, as I mentioned before, the academics, the university, and everything that Ohio State stands for, it has it all, and it's something which I'm really excited and really proud to be a part of.
And for Jake, just to be here and get this opportunity, obviously you're very familiar with the program. Just what's going through your mind now?
Yeah, I feel very blessed to be here, and I've been fortunate to see my brother come through, and I know what this place means to him. And in the back of my mind, I always thought it'd be great to be a part of that. And I'm just honored to be here and excited, coming home, being around family, and doing whatever I can to help this tradition to program.
Jake, you're doing the same thing Greg did, which is going from an assistant coach to a video coordinator, and I'm assuming, maybe I shouldn't assume, but I'm thinking you probably took a pay cut. What you just answered a little bit, but what goes into doing what you did, the decision that you made? Because Valpo is a pretty good D1 program.
Yeah, Valpo's been very good to me as well. 2 years out of college, I was brought on full time as an assistant coach. I spent a lot of time talking to Greg about making that transition from being on the floor to now being off the floor and out of a coaching role. And he gave me some great advice. He's been a great mentor, since this has come about. And I just think the opportunity, I've looked up to Coach Mata ever since my brother started playing for him, and the opportunity to be around him, be around the rest of this staff, is something I just couldn't pass up.
And what's the advice, if you can talk about, that Greg gave you?
What Greg talked about, just expanding, your knowledge of basketball. I think when you're on the court, you kind of lose track of some of the things off the court that need to be done. And I'm excited about expanding my growth and my knowledge for video work and things like that. So hopefully through this I'll become a much better and more well-rounded coach. But I also know how vital this position is for this program, and I'm excited to try and fill his shoes for what he's been able to do here these last 2 years.
Have you done video work? Everybody does a little bit of everything, I'd guess, but have you done video work at Valpo?
Sure, I was in a similar position for a year, and then the last 2 years, obviously being on the floor, you don't do as much, but I have had some experience. Greg's been great in helping catching me up to how things are done here, and I'm excited to finally get started and really start getting after it.
So is today your first day of work?
Today's the first full day of work.
Greg, what do you think I guess coaches are always trying to balance their staff. They lose Jen, who I think is a real technician and an X and O. What do you think your forte is, or do you know yet? You haven't been on the front lines very long. I would think your name carries great weight in recruiting. What do you think you'll try to attack first, or what do you think your strong suit is, I guess, is the question.
Well, I'll do whatever we need to do as far as Coach Mata asking responsibility-wise, whether that's going on the road, whether that's with our guys, being on the floor with them. I know we're still trying to work through that.
Yeah.
It is early in the process of doing that, but step in wherever need to be stepped in, and I'm looking forward to it.
Jake, how was John's recommendation? How did that help you?
He's
in the room now.
I couldn't ask my family's advice for too long because they were pretty biased. I've had many family members graduate from this university, and most recently my brother, and I'm sure you're you all are aware how close he was to Coach Mata when he played, and he tried to be as level-headed as possible. But I know he's excited for me to be here, and I'm excited to be here as well, because he was a part of helping to build something special here, and it's continued to improve, and I'm hoping that I can help the program continue to improve.
Okay, anything else? All right, thanks, guys.
Appreciate it, guys.
Thank you.